Only me and you, only me and you, only me, only you, only me and you. Faith to believe you, faith to receive you. Hey, welcome. Thank you for enduring my horrible singing. Okay, so today I decided to come out to the car and start it up and see what's going on after the fiascos last night. She had a rough start. She had a whole rough start. I had to hold that brake and hold that start button for a long time while she struggled to get going. And so much smoke came out of the exhaust. But she's running now, idling high, not quite sounding like a lawnmower anymore. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk to you guys about. That was just a little bit of update following the other stuff that was going on. Hadn't talked to a mechanic yet. But today, it is 11:01, okay? And I'm behind. My goal, and I didn't want to share this. I wanted to keep it to myself and just hit the goals and use it to build up my confidence. But my goal is to do 3 videos a day. So I've been doing 3 videos a day, but I've been struggling with it. Been last minute getting it in. Like last minute, like racing against the clock. Like, oh my gosh, why is my phone moving so slow? I gotta upload this before midnight. Okay. But I got them in, no. Okay, so what I want to talk about, what we are talking about today is N of 1, controlling your power. Okay, now they go hand in hand. Controlling your power, N of 1. That's what we gonna talk about. Now, I've been seeing, I'm a YouTube person. I watch YouTube. I would YouTube and Google the hell out of some shit. Okay, a lot of my learning has come from YouTube. A lot of the networks, the mentorships, and the programs that I've joined has been because I watch YouTube and I found some people on YouTube. Okay, so now on YouTube, no, I actually did not find him on YouTube. A friend of mine told me about him, said that he was in a mentorship program that was head by this guy, right? And I kind of ignored him at first. He's like, look, they're talking about wealth building, generational wealth. It's Bible based. This friend is a Christian, like it's Bible based and yada yada yada. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds great. But when he said it's for men, I really ain't paying no mind after that. I'm just like, okay, great. Just support you. You doing good with it. And then I went to this conference in Florida, Black Equity Con. Okay. And he was like the keynote speaker. And when I heard him speak, I was like, oh, this is the guy. Like he gets poetic with his wordplay and stuff. And the stuff be right on. I'm like, all right, okay. So I decided to go to YouTube and look him up. And I started watching his videos where he's like teaching a group of people. And the things that he was saying, I'm like, oh, okay. This guy is Myron Golden. Go look him up, check him out. You can verify the things that he say. It be on point, okay? And now, I don't wholeheartedly believe in everything because, okay, I'm going to be completely honest and transparent. I was born into Bible religions. I was born a Baptist Christian. I've, throughout my life, journeyed through different Christian churches, different denominations, and I ended up coming to the conclusion that this ain't real, right? But in recent years, I'm coming back around to some stuff and I'm seeing things differently, right? I cannot honestly say that I believe the Bible 100%. but I'm coming back around. I believe in a higher power. I believe in energies, good positive energies out there that's out there to help people, right? I believe in it, whether you call it source, God, Allah, whatever, right? Like, I believe in this thing. And I believe that people created different deities to better identify this source, this thing, right? That's amazing and that is responsible for everything that we see and know today, right? Anyway, one of the things that he said had to deal with confidence. As a matter of fact, that was the video that we saw today. Earlier in my mind, I was thinking about another video, but it slips my mind right now. Confidence. No, it was on confidence then. That was one of the earlier videos. One of the earlier talks that I saw from him was talking about confidence. And he was like, the reason why you lack confidence is because you lie to yourself. You hear all the lies that you tell. You lie to yourself. So I'm like, you lie. I'm like, I don't believe that. But I kept that in my head and I used that as a, what do you call it? The word is escaping me right now. But I use that as a reference to like reference back as I'm doing certain things. And I'm like, you know what? It's true. It's just like doing the videos every day. At one point I said, I'm gonna do a video every day. Then I end up not doing a video every day. That's me lying to myself. You know what I'm saying? I said, all right, every day is a bit much, you got to fit that in. It's a whole nother schedule, becomes a whole nother job. Once a month, right? Once a month, I'm going to set it, once a month. If I do once a week, then that means I'm smashing a goal. I'm doing great. You know what I'm saying? And I could put too much pressure on myself. I think I ended up going a period of time where I didn't even do once a month. I'm like, you was right. Like, damn. Okay. So, I lied to myself. And I hear all the lies that I tell. It's going into my subconscious. I'm not lying to people. I put it out there. I would even, and that would be one of the ways that I hold myself accountable is because I'm like, if I tell other people, then other people know and I gotta do it. But then certain instances where it comes to, like, for instance, doing videos, I back out on that too because I ended up not doing it every day. You know what I'm saying? I ended up not doing it every week for a period of time. So I'm like, that ain't working. So I just really have to really, really, really hold myself accountable and then have confidence, not just in myself, but in what I'm doing, in my message. So it's been this whole thing. And then, okay, so the past 3 days, I did 3 videos a day. Even if I was rushing against the deadline, within that 24-hour frame, I put out 3 videos, right? Between YouTube and TikTok. I have Instagram, I have Facebook set up, but I haven't really posted to them. I posted to Instagram a little bit. So those are my next things to get into. So right now is YouTube and TikTok. And I've put up 3 videos a day for the past 3 days. So I'm like, all right, now, so that I'm not racing against myself, because that was the video that popped up in my notifications yesterday, was about business owners not waiting until last minute. Entrepreneurs not waiting until last minute when it comes to your business, not waiting till last minute to do stuff. I felt very convicted. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. This is something I've been thinking about, because that rushing last minute, while it gives like a adrenaline pump, right, is a bit exciting, but at the same time, it don't feel good. It's stressful. And then if I don't hit the mark, then I feel bad about myself. Then that causes lack of confidence. So that's that fucked up cycle. That's that crazy cycle, right? Somebody got to break this cycle. right? And now, since I've realized and come to the conclusion, right, after identifying everything that's going on, what's the issues in the world, what's the things that's affecting me, what's the things that's affecting my kids that will affect them in the future. I mean, from small scales, personal, within myself, within my family, to the community, to like globally, right? What is that bottom thing, right? Because we're all human. That's the thing we have in common. No matter where you're from, where you're at, we're all human. Okay? So that bottom thing I discovered is control, right? Controlling yourself, self-control, controlling your power, right? And how do you do that? The only way you can control yourself, even to figure out the terpenes and the cannabinoids and the foods, the nutrients and things that you need specifically for your body, because everybody is different, because you are not like anybody else, right? You're kind of like everybody else, but you are nothing like anybody else, right? You are uniquely you. And it all starts with you and it all ends with you. So in order for you to control yourself, right? This is what I'm telling myself, and this is what I'm telling any and everybody else, right? This is what I'm telling you that's watching this video. In order for you to really control yourself, to fully like control yourself, you have to study yourself, right? And now I'm watching YouTube. On Star Talk, there was a scientist on there, and I forget what her name is. Actually, I don't even remember exactly who said it, unfortunately. I wish I did. But sometimes I just take in information, and like good information is good information, right? But it helps to know who delivered that good information, right? But anyway, she was saying N of one, right? That is study of one. That this is what amongst scientists, this is what this is the terminology that they use, talking about like N is number, kind of like algebraic expression representing the test subject, right? And then that number of test of is multiplication symbol. I learned this mathematics, breaking down word problems. Of is means times, it's multiplication. So N of one, test subject times however many is in that test subject. If you are studying yourself, when you study yourself, then it is a study of one, right? N is the study of one, right? So you are studying yourself, one of one, N of one, right? One study, one self. N represents that one study of self, right? So you're studying yourself in order to control your power, right? Because it is that lack of control, lack of self-control. Because as humans, we got to control something, right? Like it takes a whole lot of discipline to relinquish control and to not want to control anything else around you, right? To not want to control anything in your world, including yourself. That takes extra power. I don't know. I haven't done a whole lot of study on like monks and stuff. I just have like basic kind of general knowledge, but that sounds like some monk stuff, right? Like you got to really meditate and let go and try, because we're human, right? That's how we survive. You got to be able to control the environment. If you didn't control, for instance, cooking things, and out of that need to like cook some stuff, learn how to make fire, or however that came about, then it would be no invention. Like it would be no advancements. You wouldn't be able to survive in the wild. You wouldn't be able to like live and thrive and grow and raise healthy families that grows and is productive and creates their own families, right? Like you have to have control over something, right? Even your mind controls your body. Your heart is, controlling the beating of your blood. You have muscles that's controlling your bowels, muscles that control your bladder, so you're not just peeing on yourself all over the place. Once you lose control, then you're like peeing and shitting on yourself all over the place, because you've lost control of that function, that part of your body, right? Control is very important. Basic need, right? The issue comes when control is out of whack, okay? And oftentimes what ends up happening is a person feels powerless, right? They feel like they can't control themselves, or they can't control important aspects of their world, their life, their day-to-day. So in order to regain control, instead of controlling that self, the first automatic thing that certain people do is to reach out to control other people, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to quickly think of it like an everyday example, but I'm sure you can think of something. Sometime where somebody wanted to control you. You know what I'm saying? Where really their answer was to go and do something for themselves, was to go and do it themselves instead of trying to control you and make you do it. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that comes to my mind, and it may seem kind of dark, but this is one of the issues, right? A person who can't control their sex urges. So now they can't control their sex urges. You're not giving it to them. So now they want to rape you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is control out of whack. Instead of trying to control someone else to give you what you want, you need to control yourself, right? Control yourself. Self-control. And so that's what I mean. And in order to do that, you got to really examine yourself, every part of yourself, to fully control yourself. So now when I say control of power, power is self, right? Now we heard these brothers, these people out there with like the wordplay, talking about how we are a battery operating in the system, is sales, currency being the money that's flowing, that's the power. Okay. Wordplay, nice, but it's very true, right? It's very true. So we have energy within us. In every single cell, there's energy. And what is that energy? Energy is light. Light is energy. Like, it's that thing that pushes it, that propels every cell, that makes it move, that force that goes. With synapse off in your brain, and a synapse is the moving from neuron to neuron, right? That jump across the synaptic bridge, or that point that doesn't quite connect between nerve cell or neuron to neuron, right? Nerve cell is a neuron. That thing that's jumping is light. Is light. That's energy. And on that light is information. So we have information in our body, and that's the other wordplay that I heard. Information, get information in formation, like in order. So we need to control ourselves and keep that control in order. This is a full-time job, okay? This is an everyday thing. And there's people saying, I ain't worried about what you got going over there. I can't pay attention to how green your grass is because I'm busy watering my garden. Same thing. You worried about self. You worried about controlling self. I'm minding my black business. I'm minding my own business. I'm staying in my lane. You are focused on you, right? That's what all these catchy phrases, that's very true, that sound like fly and slick and stuff, that's all it's saying. That's exactly what it means. That's the totality of what it means. You're just controlling yourself. And that's so hugely important, right? You must control yourself. Again, if your muscles ain't controlling your bladder, you're incontinent. You're peeing all over the place, right? Okay, you don't want to shit on yourself. You're not trying to shit all over the place. You gotta exhibit self-control. You gotta learn to control yourself. And that's in every aspect. You can't give up that control to anybody else, right? Except strategically and in places where it makes sense. But even then, you still have control over yourself. You're controlling your power to relinquish a bit of it for a period of time. When you don't do it intentionally, someone else is just taking control of your power. They're taking control of yourself, right? And by self, I mean the cells in your body and you as a whole, right? That light, that energy. They say spirit is energy. Spirit is energy. That energy is the light that's synapsing from neuron to neuron, from cell to cell, that's propelling the molecules to move within the cells in your body, doing what it do, okay? That is the energy. That is spirit. So when you try to locate spirit, spirit is in every cell of your body. Every cell of your body is your spirit. I'm talking now. This is taking power. This is taking energy. When you think, thought operates on a certain radio wave frequency. That is energy. It's actual things that's moving. It's molecules, particles that's actually moving, right? Just like any other wave that can be picked up and read. You have to control yourself. It's a full-time job. We're born in this world natural. We are a part of nature. Things move naturally. And as the great brother said, our goal is to move from the natural to organized, right? And part of that organization is getting information. And what is the information that you need? It's information on self. Is that self-study? Is that N of one? Is that knowing yourself? Okay. It's focusing on who you are and the powers that you have and how you can control those powers to create the life that you desire, to create a better world, right? Because that's operating in your higher self. Your higher self is not trying to hurt anybody else, right? Except for self-defense. Right? Because your higher self is telling you that you need to defend yourself and you need to defend your family, right? Right. Your higher self is telling you that you have to be empathetic, a good person, that this is who you are. And you got to take control of these things. Otherwise, other people can take control of you. You got to take control of your emotions. Otherwise, they're easily led and controlled by outside sources. And there are forces and sources that intentionally control your emotions just to drag you around and use you against you. Use you against your community. Use you against other parts of nature for their own demonic purposes. For their own lower vibrational purposes. For their own ill intent purposes, right? For their own negative purposes. All of these things are saying the same thing, regardless of what it is that you believe in, regardless of your religious background, your faith, your race, your culture. All of it is saying the same thing. A bunch of negative, unempathetic people that's doing things that's negative to hurt and destroy, right? For their own purposes. That is the real cult. That's another thing I heard a lot of people saying, like culture is cult is culture, like culture of Christianity and religion. That's not true, right? The root word is in there, but that's not true. Maybe it's something else about right? I don't know. But cult is where it's one leader or one group that's at the head, and all of the actions, there's a whole lot of manipulation and BS going on in order to serve that one, not the whole. Now, the basics behind spirituality, right? And what a person is thinking when they're joining these groups is not to give their money and their time and their energy to just support the pastor or the head of that religious organization. It's about your own salvation. It's about putting positivity out in the world and about helping people. That's not a cult. That's not a cult. Separate that. That's bullshit. Like, it's not a cult. And I may not have the same faith as people, but these faiths in itself are not negative. It's good and it's filled with light and is about actually helping people. It's about putting positivity out in the world. It's about operating in your higher self. And in order to do that, you have to control yourself. And it takes great control to be yourself and put positive out in the world where so many negative messages coming your way, coming into your senses, going straight into your brain. That is self-control, right? So kudos and shout out to all of you people that's exhibiting self-control, that's operating your higher self in spite of all the BS, In spite of all the actual cult activity, you are still creating a culture around being your best self. That is N of 1. Do more of that, put more of that out there. That is controlling your power, because that is great power in being able to do that. Hell yeah. Okay. And so today, I didn't even watch the video. I can't wait to watch the video to see what he's saying. I just heard the title, just saw the title flash across my notifications, and it was talking about confidence. I forgot exactly verbatim what it says, but it was something about confidence, using confidence to build, to generate money, to build your wealth or something like that, right? And that had me thinking, because looking back at my other videos, I wasn't very confident. It was times where I was confident, where I was pushing through. Many a times I went and sat like in a secluded area just to get like the good background and where I thought people wouldn't be around. So I can kind of like let go and be myself a little bit. But then I was still self-conscious, because then all of a sudden somebody will come past walking a dog or something. And I'm like, oh, they see me. But the confidence thing is true, because even though most of what I was saying, a great majority of what I say, 99% of what I was saying was dead on, was right. There was a couple of things that I had to go back and I like dug a little deeper, and I was like, oh, I was wrong. One of the recent things was about exactly, you know, how to work this hemp oil in the car, right? And, you know, I had to humbly come back and say, you know, I messed up with that a little bit, need to experiment a little more, study a little more, tweak something, figure that out before I move forward with that one. But looking at it, even when I'm given right information, if I don't know, if I'm just like stepping outside of myself and watching myself, it looked like I don't know what I'm talking about, because I lack the confidence, right? Because I presented as someone who wasn't confident in the information, right? Even though I lacked confidence in myself, right? And for the previous reasons that I was saying, right? So between yesterday and today, and then seeing that, and I'm like, that is confirmation. Okay, I talk like this when I be talking to myself. And I be talking to myself going in. The only difference is now I'm trying to remember while I'm talking. At the same time, I'm trying to remember certain points, because I'm like, I got to get all this out so that later on I'm not like, dang, I should have said that. Dang, this is what, let me go back and say this and then like edit it in the video, because I should have said it at this point and then put it in there, because, you know, that's what I do sometimes too. So, you know, N of 1, study of self, controlling self. I'm trying to balance all of that out at the same time, right? It takes work. Okay, so N of 1, controlling yourself. Boom. Another thing that I learned from watching Myron Golden videos was the proper order of doing videos, so that your message comes across as clearly as possible to the listener. So, because you can have one thing in your head and you know exactly, like, it makes sense to you, but when you say it, it don't come out, it doesn't come across, it like loses something in communication. It don't come across the way you have it in your head. Like, you want to give people that understanding that you have. You want to put it out there so that they can like have that aha moment and pick it up. So people have sat down and discovered the best way, you know, based on like human psychology and stuff like that, figured out like the best way to put it out there. I heard him say it, you know, I've heard other people say it too, but, you know, it stood out and it like resonated when I heard him say it in a video. And one of the, like, the way he put it, one of the ways, because without going into too many details about like the order of things, the thing that's standing out in my mind now, one of the things that he said was, you tell him what you're going to tell him, you tell him, and then you tell him what you told him. And I'm like, oh. And part of me in my mind, I'm thinking I left out a tell him somewhere in there, like it was 4 of them. But, you know, you tell him what you're going to, you tell him what you're going to tell him, you tell him, and then you tell him what you told him. So that's why I started out the video. And then I had to come back, was like, no, tell him what you're going to tell him. We're going to talk about N of 1. So now this is the point where I tell you what I told you. We talked about N of 1, controlling self, study of 1, controlling your power. Your power is yourself. Your power is part of yourself. Your power is your ability to do, to be. Be is a verb, is to be, and to be in the way that you see fit to best achieve the goals operating in your higher self, to become your best version and to put that out into the world, right? Is your power, your ability to do that. That's your power. And it is yourself, because it is literally the energy and the information that's transferring on the energy through every cell in your entire body. Okay? It's yourself. That is your power. Your power is you, is yourself. And it's very important to control yourself. Control your power. How do you control your power? N of 1. You study yourself. Okay? You study yourself in order to control your power. Don't worry. If this all doesn't make sense to you, you can go back and watch it over again. That is the beauty of videos. That's why I love YouTube so much. Okay, that's why I love videos. Whether it's on YouTube, on somebody's personal website, wherever. Because you can just go back and replay it. Get that information. And you know what else? I'm putting this in a book. Okay? I'm going to give it all away. I'm giving it to you here. And now I still need to earn a living. So one day we are going to get to some lives, because that is the next step in my progression, right? Is being able to do these lives and have this interaction with complete strangers, like, you know, being at the mercy of complete strangers and giving out this information. So I'm going to be able to give it to you. And right now it's like I'm talking to myself with you in mind, but I need that interaction. So that way you can give me your feedback, you can ask questions, you can like challenge my thoughts and ideas, and we can really like get it in, right? That's how like positive energy flows and activates, right? That's how you learn and you grow. That's some beautiful shit, okay? Freaking beautiful. I love it, right? I'm gaining confidence, so I'm ready. I'm ready. In the past, I should have been doing this a year ago. But that won't my journey, right? This is the becomings. And it's a continual becoming, right? It's more, there's multiple becomings. So now I'm becoming somebody that with confidence can do these videos, can go live, can give out this information to people. And when the book is finished, after it goes out for review and all of that stuff, come back, edits, everything, it's going to be for sale. So you'll have something along with a journal, so that you'll have something that you can always reference. You can take notes. Right now you can't take notes on me talking on a video, aside from pulling out your own pen and paper and writing it down. In that book, you can highlight certain areas, you know, because we got different types of learners. You can reread it. You can share it with friends. You're operating a different part of your brain when you read. So it's all great, right? And that's going to be available. I'm working on that now. And what I would love to do is to write this book with other people. So I'm thinking about exactly how this can happen. Like, share your stories. Like, maybe we can collaborate on this book, this N of 1, this controlling your power, because everybody has stories, right? Like, you have stories where you've overcome, where you had to take control of yourself, where you had to learn to control a different part of yourself to achieve something in life, where you've overcome something, right? You had to study yourself to do it. What are those stories? Because it helps people. It helps people because other people can identify with it, right? Other people will hear it. It'll resonate with them, you know, in ways that I can't alone. So I think that'll be such a powerful freaking book. Like, it would be so freaking powerful, right? So you're figuring that out. That's coming. Stay tuned. Look, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like, hit that subscribe button now. Hit that like button now. And actually, I should have said this earlier in the video. I should have said it a few minutes in. You're still here. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. This is great. This is powerful. You ready to take control of your power? Comment power, because those comments get it up in the algorithm too, right? Let me know you watching, you listening. Help a sister out, okay? We help each other out. That was something that I seen on TikTok that I just discovered, right? Because I'm over on TikTok trying to get my views up, because once you get to a certain amount of views, then you can go live on TikTok, right? Because I have Paradise Mo, the online store, and I want to promote some of the things on there, doing the live and stuff like that, but I can't do that until I get a certain number of views. I saw some people on there, and they had this whole thing going on where they were supporting each other. They putting comments in, they're sending gifts, they're following each other on purpose for the sole purpose of helping a person get the number of follows that they need so that they can go live and promote themselves, promote their business. Like, how freaking dope is that? That is so freaking dope. That is cool. That is support. That is collaboration. That is love, like being shared from all around the world. Like, these people don't know each other outside of TikTok. Most of them. They don't know each other outside of TikTok, but they just got on there. They got a common goal, and they're like, look, we better when we help each other. We are better together when we are operating our higher self. Ain't no jealousy, ain't no hate, ain't no crab mentality, ain't nobody trying to tear nobody down. We are all just helping each other. Freaking beautiful, okay? So many more follows just last night alone, like within a few hours, than I did whole like several months being on TikTok. Hey, okay? Freaking beautiful. So this is where we're going with this thing. Look out for the book. And if one, send me some messages in my description. If it's not in there, I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to put it in the description of this video. My email me. Look, we are doing some great shit. Okay? Great shit. Putting out good shit in the world. We're working together. It's Lyphtedly Life Private Social Club. Amazing women coming together. Hit the email. Hit me up. We got to work together. I want to work with you. Let's do this shit. Okay? We talked about inner one, controlling self, controlling your power, how you can control your power, exactly what your power is, and what you need to know in order to control your power, that inner one. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of The Becomings. Hit subscribe, hit like, share this video. I'll see you next time. Peace. Love you.